What's going on, y'all? It's your boy June Archer here, the winner circle on thisis50.com. R&B extraordinaire artist Sasha. Keep it locked right here. You're going to love it. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy June Archer here on the winner circle, thisis50.com. Welcome, Miss Sasha, R&B songstress extraordinaire to the show. Miss Sasha, how you doing today?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you here. I've been
Thank
hearing
you.
so many great things about you. Just finished watching you on Nima Kamara's Boom Boom Boom.
Yes.
The showcase was amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing job. Vocals sultry. Fellas, if you haven't seen him, I'm trying to tell you, you're in for a great surprise. I want to ask, coming from your roots in Atlantic City, what was the music scene like?
That's such a good question. It was definitely eclectic in my house. My mom's Italian and my dad's African American, so there was a mixture, you know, of some Ricky Lee Jones. That's like a kind of like rock, light rock kind of soul. She was really, really dope artist, and obviously a lot of Isley Brothers, a lot of Anita Baker, a lot of, you know, all the classics. And in my group of friends, of course, we were listening to hip hop, a lot of Jay-Z, you know, I was still listening to Aaliyah, a lot of that kind of stuff. So it fused so many worlds together.
So who were some of the musical influences? Because I can't really think of anybody from Atlantic City and say, all right, well, it's an R&B artist or a hip hop artist. Like, what were some of your influences there? Like, what were some of the hot spots in Atlantic City that you could kind of go and check out talent? Or were there any?
There really weren't. There really weren't. You had to go to Philly for that. You definitely had to go to Philly for that. Yeah.
Would you say you guys were influenced more with the Philly sound? Because there was a huge sound with, you got the whole taste, I forgot those gentlemen's name, but you had Jill Scott, you had Music Soul Child,
Right.
all those guys coming up, but then you had the whole New York piece of it. Where did it kind of lie in terms of creativity, trying to emulate different artists in different musical styles?
I think we were definitely influenced by the Philly stuff a lot. Like neo soul was a huge part of my musical influences growing up, for sure. Jill Scott, you know, Music Soul Child, he recorded in Jersey a lot of the time. So yeah, those things were a huge part of it. And New York too, I was so into hip hop, I think that I probably like gravitated more towards
hip hop.
Yeah.
But you weren't always a singer. You were a dancer.
I was, yeah.
Miss Atlantic City. Tell us about it. You see, the kid does his homework. So tell me about that.
Yeah. So I was a professional dancer until I was like 19. Ballet, all of that. I went to ACBT, the Atlantic Contemporary Ballet Theater. I was always singing, but dance was my focus. Got into musical theater a little bit, so I still love theater. I still love all of that. You know, you grow, you just realize what's for you, what's not for you. I knew that my path wasn't Broadway. Like I knew it just didn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
Such an appreciation for that art form, but it wasn't for me. And I got signed to a talent agency when I was 18, and I went on a couple auditions, like, you know, as a dancer, and I realized that I didn't want to be behind anybody, because my music at that point had really started to, you know, grow. I kind of started to find my voice and what my sound was. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to shift my focus, which was a big deal to, you know, take a different direction after 18 years of doing, you know, one thing primarily. So changed focus, and yeah. And then I was Miss Atlantic City. I did...
How was that experience?
It was different. It was different. I don't consider myself a pageant girl. I still don't. I never did. It was something that, you know, some of the people that ran the pageant and some of the people around me were like, you know, I think this would be good for you. I've always been into speaking, public speaking.
Okay.
I've always been into that. And that did offer me a platform for that. I always was big on talking to the young people where I was from, and I just wanted to give them, you know, something, not that there weren't so many other, you know, influences for them or mentors for them to look up to, but specifically to have somebody from their city, I did want to kind of be an example for them, yeah.
For for you now, 'cause I want to make sure we touch on this as well as we're going to it.
Yeah.
It's been such a male-dominated industry,
Right.
Entertainment,
Yeah.
music, television.
Absolutely.
Now we're getting to see, outside of the Oprah Winfrey movement, we're starting to see women really, Ava DuVernay.
Yeah.
There's just so many women doing some great things. Angela Rye, you guys are, I can't say you guys are on the come up, you guys have always been there, but now you guys have
Being
really
recognized,
for your effort and your hard work.
Right.
For you, you know, they got the boss chick, boss lady movement and mentality. For you, how have you embraced that? Because it's been a journey now. As I read, like it's been years, like going from Atlanta to Vegas to LA, and I believe LA is your home now. But
it is.
For that journey, like what did you hold on to?
I think your sense of self is like probably the most important thing, and that doesn't come naturally for everybody. It's something that you have to grow into for a lot of people. I think the most important thing is like spending that time alone with yourself to really figure out what is the thread in you that's going to hold you together, that you can't be swayed in one direction or the other. You know what I mean? What matters the most to you at the end of this? Like, are you going to be able to look yourself in the mirror? Are you going to be able? So those are the questions, you know what I mean, that I always kept in the forefront of all my decisions. And I am also super spiritual. That was something that really helped me, you know, being able to have conversations, you know, with God and stuff like that. That helped.
How was it growing up in a half black, half Italian household, though?
It was interesting. It was interesting because my parents got together at a time where that still was not like, it's so like common now, you know. So
common now, but I'm certain they had to go through some struggles.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, my mom's side of the family absolutely like disowned her and
because
you
happen to be the reminder of the mistake that she made and the path that she kind of was gonna follow.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like my grandmom on my mom's side didn't acknowledge my existence. It was like a whole thing. It really took
until when though? Because I'm certain you got to come full circle at some point.
To be honest with you, which is such a shame, but like because I was light skinned and like had like curly like blonde hair when I was younger, it was easier for her, honestly.
Wow.
Which is such a shame. That's such a shame.
What do you feel about that thing with curly versus nappy, light skin versus dark? Like, where do you stand with that?
I think everybody...
It's an interesting conversation, but I have to ask why I have you here.
Yeah. It's such a cliche answer. I really think everybody's beautiful in their own way, though. Like, everybody has their own thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's also mad cliche, but if you're good, like, with yourself, that really, like, you can see that in somebody, and that makes them, like, more
But you do realize some people aren't good. Like, they look on the outside to figure out how they're supposed to feel on the inside.
Absolutely.
But that's why we got to change these images that we're giving these young girls.
There needs to be, you know, it is starting to change, like what we were just talking about, but there does need to be some more diverse images of black women, too. You know what I mean? It's like it goes in stages. Like, you know, at first it was, you know, okay, there's some light-skinned women that we have to look up to. There's some but you know, you need everything. You need girls who wear their natural hair and just are who they are. It's beautiful.
Diversity is dope.
I think it's important to even have like Barbies and dolls. Like all that stuff matters.
And that
you know what I mean?
That took a long time.
It took a very long
time. But we're here. Yeah. Did you struggle with who you wanted to? Not relate to, but who you wanted to kind of represent? Was like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna be Italian this week, you know, because it just works out. I'm black, I'm a black girl.
Right.
I mean, because some people struggle with it. I mean, we got the young lady who was on TV on New, like she felt like Rachel Dolezal. She felt like I just relate to black. Like,
well, she is not biologically black at all, so that was a little different. She's like considers herself
I'm just giving that example. But was there a struggle?
I think there's a little bit of a struggle for every mixed kid growing up, like just trying to figure out where you identify, especially if you grow up in a predominantly one or the other neighborhood. I was in a predominantly black neighborhood, but my extracurricular activities like ballet and stuff put me around a lot of white people. So
of course, the extracurricular activities will put you over there on that side of town. Nobody gives a black and brown babies any extracurricular activities.
Isn't that for real? There was no ballet studios. There was no anything. I promise you, I'm gonna change that about
No,
Atlantic City.
we have to. We have to.
I'm gonna do something about that in my city specifically. But
and I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna come out there and I'm gonna talk to those kids as well.
Yeah, the Boys and Girls Club out there. They need some. They need some help out there.
They need it. So let's talk about this record, Pull Up.
Let's talk
about
Pull Up.
that. What was the inspiration behind that? What's the direction of the project that you're working on right now?
So Pull Up was a record that Ramir Vincent, Kyle Coleman, and I wrote together. Business Boy did the actual. He's the producer. He did the track. All of my stuff is like either written or co-written by me. Dope. That's super important, just because I never wanted to sound like a record that you could just hear anybody on.
Right. You wanted your voice to be woven within the track.
Yeah, I'm particular to the point that like I'm with the producer when it's being made, changing out kicks, changing out snares, like making, very particular.
Well, all right now. All right, so is production in the future for you? I mean,
honestly, at some point when I have multiple projects out and I have some time to just,
That's dope.
because there's things that I so specifically know that I want to hear, and instead of having to try to explain that to somebody, I want to actually just be able to do it for myself at some point. But back to Pull Up, that was written based off of an experience that my best friend at the time was going through, which so many women I feel like can relate to. And my records are mostly my life or people around me. I'm inspired by things that happen to people that I care about, because I think if you really care about somebody, you can kind of feel what they're going through when they're going through something. And so that's where that came from. I made it a little more lighthearted than what she was actually going through, because then it would have gotten to be a really intense song. But
pretty heavy.
Yeah, I didn't want it to get that heavy. But the general concept is just people in general, not just men, but in this case we were talking about men. People in general, it's a lot of talk. Like people, I want to do this, I want to do that, I can do this for you. It's a lot
empty
of
promises. A lot of empty promises.
A lot of bullshit. She was just at the point where she was just like, I'm ready for somebody to really do what they say that they're gonna do. Right. If not, like I would rather you just not even speak to me. You know what I mean? And I felt that. I feel like a lot of girls feel like that. Men say certain things, to get certain things, and then
women do too, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Oh, absolutely. Hold up, because we are.
Oh, you guys can be very smooth with it.
And we're much more intelligent.
Oh, you don't have to convince me of that. Like you don't have to.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean,
we're good.
Have you bamboozled somebody, made your magic happen?
No. I
because you do realize like someone could like sit here and be like, I'm mesmerized, like whatever you want, like take out the black card and flowers, because you have that. I mean, truth be told, I used to have that effect, I think.
No! I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. He had to plug himself real quick. Back in the day. I was popping.
From the hip. But for you though, with this record, where do you see it going? It's a dope record. I like the record. I like the vibe. I like the energy.
Appreciate it. It's radio friendly, but the lyrics are still a little edgy, and that was something that was intentional as well, because some of my stuff can get very like maybe something that you wouldn't hear on the radio all the time. Okay. So just wanted to make the single light and fun, but still make sure that lyrical content wise it was true to who I am as an artist, which is super blunt, to the point. So I see it doing well at radio. I see it doing really well at radio. And as far as the direction of the project, sound-wise, that's a pretty good gauge of
where.
Yeah, it gets a little more trappy the rest of the project, but yeah, that's a good gauge, because it's a really good fusion, I feel like, of R&B, of hip hop, of like there's like threads of a pop melody in there too, in the record, in the pre-hook and the hook. So yeah, it's a fusion of all the things that I am.
No, I love it. Without asking you that cliche, who are your influences? What makes you unique? For me, I want to just ask you, like, what will be your contribution to being a female R&B artist in this climate right now with this movement?
I think that there's been like a surge a little bit in the female R&B space as far as like some newer alternative R&B women like Sabrina Claudio and there's a couple people in that space. Right.
She's dope.
There's been a surge in that space, which their music it's beautiful, it's phenomenal. I listen to their stuff. For me, there's a huge entertainment element to what I do. Huge, like my show is
I was
big.
there. I was there, G.
Yeah, you was there. I mean, tell the people.
It was dope.
Like,
it was dope.
Yeah. So, but even
For
without
those who missed it, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. So, I just feel something about incredible live entertainers. It brings so much joy, and you can like kind of escape so many things that are going on right now. You know what I mean? If you're at a great show, there's something so powerful about being able to take people out of, you know, their everyday life for that 2 hours, you know, and that's a huge part of my show. And also, aside from the music, aside from, you know, the songs, I feel so strongly about, like I was mentioning to you before, just about talking to young women. There's so much more to my story that like I you know wouldn't go into at the moment, but it's a big deal for me to share certain things and just be hopefully a light to some people that are in, you know, dark situations that maybe they feel like they can't get out of, maybe they feel like there's no end to.
Right.
Those things are important to me.
How transparent are you going to be on this project?
Very. Yeah, have to be. That's part of why I do what I do. You know what I mean? It's therapy for me too. Not just, you know, it's not just to make dope songs. Like some of the records, of course, some records are just about making a dope record.
Right.
Other things have, you know,
Meaning.
real important message behind it. But also, aside from the more serious stuff, what I feel like is different about me is the edginess, the lyrical content. It's not contrived. It's not like an image that I'm trying to portray that's not real.
Right.
And I do see that a lot in some artists that are in my same kind of space. This is real for me. You know what I mean? Like the things that I'm talking about, the things that I'm saying. It's not like I'm not trying to be cool.
It's not a game out here.
No.
Trying to change some lives.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That's dope. That's dope. If there were a dream concert,
oh wow,
and it was you and 4 other artists on the bill, who would they be?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive? Why not? Let's go for it.
That's rough. Jennifer Lopez. She's like an incredible performer.
That's just the dancer side of you talking.
Yeah,
all right.
She's in it. But have you seen her show though? Her live show.
Live show's dope.
Her live show's great.
I give her that. All right, so we got J-Lo.
Yeah. J-Lo. These people are not going to make sense together. But I'm sure there's other
but it's not
weirdly
supposed to. This is your dream.
People. Okay.
Yeah, this is your dream
okay.
concert.
All right. J-Lo, Sade.
Give me some.
Okay.
Give me some. Give me some. Sade would have the headline. You know that.
Yes.
I'll put you. You know, maybe you can come before, but I got it.
Yeah, like right before her.
Yeah, you can come right before. Yeah.
I feel you.
All right. So J-Lo, Sade.
Anita Baker.
Woo.
And.
What you got?
Jay-Z. Like literally.
No, females. You gotta
have to be women?
Yeah, gotta be women.
Why?
Gotta be women. I want a female empowered concert.
All right. J-Lo, Sade, Anita Baker, me, and.
You put Lauryn Hill in there?
I love Lauryn Hill, but I wouldn't put her there.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
She's great.
What about Jill Scott?
She's great.
Put Jill Scott in there?
Scott's cool. Not in this.
Not in this one.
She's really talented though. Janet. Yeah.
There it is.
Janet, yeah.
There it is. J-Lo, Anita Baker, Sade, Janet, and Sasha. Where can we find you? Where can we follow you?
So my Instagram is Sasha Lance. That's my middle name. And that's my Instagram. You can find me on Spotify and iTunes right now. There's a record out called Ride. There's a video for it on YouTube. And yep, everything else is coming out very soon. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know when everything else is coming out.
And I promise you want to follow her. Sasha Lance, check out online. Ride is out. Pull Up is coming.
Yes.
This is June Archer, the Winner Circle here. This is 50.com. Peace.